You're watching Good Day Tampa Bay.
Well, the phrase quiet quitting has surfaced a lot lately as a coping mechanism for people in the workforce. It's largely considered to mean doing your job at the bare minimum. Here's how to turn the quiet quit into an open conversation to achieve better work-life balance. Quietly quitting. It's the new front in the battle for work-life balance.
You can slap a different label on it, but at the end of the day, burnout really is at the root.
Vanessa Autrey is the author of The Art of Balancing Burnout.
So to me, quietly quitting is just people are mentally checking out, right? And, you know, there's also people wanting to set more boundaries when it comes to work or life. They want more balance in their lives.
The definition can depend on the age of who you ask. Burnout coach Emily Bruth has this chart on social media showing how different generations have different expectations.
Where you're kind of backed into a corner by things that you put on your plate, but by things that have demand X amount, no matter how you try to include them, you can get to a point where disengagement is the only way that it feels like you might be able to get through it.
She says people are more cognizant these days about the work to reward ratio.
Quiet quitting isn't necessarily as new as it feels. I think that people have been saying work your wage for a really long time.
The key is to get out of survival mode. And that takes open dialogue with managers who can be just as burned out by their own workloads.
It can't be well, that's not in my job description. I think that attitude is somewhat toxic, and I think it's a slippery slope.
Vocalize, you know, I received X amount of work. I can do these well. These are the things that would be compromised if I tried to make everything fit. And so these are alternative solutions for those items I just can't get to.
A strong way to create a boundary is to state the obvious and ask for guidance with the solution.
Hey, over the last 2 weeks, my schedule has been changed 5 times. This workload has shifted. This leads to me being unable to prioritize working items and personal items. Going forward, is there any way we can have more consistency here? Or what do you do when your schedule looks like this to make it look more consistent, and trying to be kind of on the same side of the issue?
Checking out is only sustainable for so long and can damage careers long term.
I love to garden, and a weed is simply a wild plant that's growing where it's not supposed to. And so when I first got started, I'd just kind of clip the top leaves, and then it would grow back. And eventually I learned that I had to pull it out by its roots. And I think that, you know, quiet quit, burnout, it works very similarly. I think you have to root it out of your life.